Strip away everything you think you know about Panama. Yes, there's a famous canal. Yes, there are pristine beaches. But beneath this postcard veneer lies a nation of extraordinary contradictions, a country with no military that once desperately courted American statehood, where car horns function as a complex communication system, and where throwing a cigarette butt could cost you $10,000. Welcome to Panama, where the impossible becomes routine and cultural norms challenge every assumption about Central American life. Between 1850 and 1903, Panama pursued one of history's most persistent diplomatic campaigns, 15 separate proposals to become the 46th American state. This wasn't casual interest, but calculated strategy born from geographic reality. Panama's leaders understood their nation's golden asset, the narrowest land bridge connecting two continents, destined to become the world's most important shipping corridor. When French canal construction efforts collapsed spectacularly, Panamanian politicians saw opportunity in American ambition. Their logic was straightforward. If the United States controlled the canal anyway, why not formalize the relationship? Statehood would bring American investment, infrastructure, military protection, and economic development that independence couldn't match. But America preferred the colonial arrangement control without responsibility. 15 rejections later, Panama gained independence in 1903, but the relationship remained asymmetrical. Today, Panama uses the US dollar, hosts thousands of American retirees, and maintains economic ties so close that statehood seems almost redundant. The irony: Panama now thrives as an independent nation while maintaining many benefits its leaders originally sought through formal American annexation. Along Panama's Caribbean coast stretches Gunayala, a semi-autonomous territory encompassing nearly 370 islands where calling residents Panamanian might get you politely asked to leave. The Guna people don't consider themselves a minority within Panama. They are Guna, period. Panama's constitution recognizes this distinction, granting Gunayala control over natural resources, tourism, construction, and immigration. The Congreso General, or All People's Council, operates as the supreme authority, and no outside politician, business, or organization can function here without their explicit approval. This isn't ceremonial autonomy, but practical self-governance rooted in fierce cultural pride. Guna society operates through democratic councils where women hold central authority. They own land, inherit property, and create the intricate molar clothing that defines Guna identity. Marriage rules reflect this matriarchal structure. Outside men who wish to marry Guna women must live with her family and receive approval from the Elders' Council. No exceptions, no negotiations. Environmental challenges test this independence daily. 80% of Guna Islands sit less than 1 meter above sea level, making them vulnerable to rising seas and storm surges. Rather than relocate to mainland Panama, the Guna adapt by constructing floating villages from recycled materials, an innovation that earned United Nations recognition as a model for indigenous climate adaptation. Their message is clear: they will remain Guna on Guna land, regardless of what nature or modern pressures demand. Deep in Panama's Darien jungle, the Embera people practice one of the world's most ingenious forms of natural sun protection. Their bodies display intricate black patterns that serve both spiritual and practical purposes, traditional tattoos that function as biological sunscreen. These aren't permanent markings, but temporary designs created using ink from the jaguar fruit, a native plant that stains skin for 10 to 15 days before fading. Originally, only shamans and tribal leaders could apply these tattoos, with each pattern representing health, spiritual protection, or safe passage through dangerous jungle terrain. Today, approximately 30,000 Embera live throughout Panama, many having migrated from deep jungle settlements to areas with better access to medical care and education. But they fiercely maintain their tattooing traditions, which modern scientists are studying for their apparent UV-blocking properties. The Embera discovered centuries ago what cosmetics companies spend millions researching: natural compounds that protect human skin from solar radiation, while maintaining cultural identity and spiritual connection to ancestral wisdom. Panama works by hidden cultural rules that can confuse foreign visitors. Car horns aren't for anger. They're actually a complex way to talk. 1 quick beep means I'm here, 2 short beeps say thank you, and 3 quick honks mean please let me through. Touching people also has strict rules. Pointing with your finger is rude, it's better to use an open hand. Handshakes should be soft, never firm. Women usually greet each other with cheek touches instead of handshakes. Standing too far away seems unfriendly, but standing too close, especially with Guna people, can get you kicked out of their area right away. Talking needs patience for small talk. It's not just a nice extra, it's really important for getting along. Americans being very direct can seem rude to Panamanians. They like to talk in a less direct way and find roundabout ways to say no. Some topics are like landmines, politics, especially about the US and the canal, religion, gender, race, and soccer teams. What Americans think are normal things to talk about can honestly start big arguments in Panama. Panama's passport opens doors that most people don't even know about. Because of old agreements from colonial times and when Panama first became free, Panamanians can live, work and stay for a long time in over 10 countries without needing a regular visa. These hidden doors in international immigration rules let Panamanians legally move to media group, airport immigration counter, border crossing with travelers, passport control stamps at stock at distribute _equally. Colombia, Spain, Chile, Ecuador, Peru, Guatemala, El Salvador and Honduras with very little paperwork. Some places don't even ask for proof of money, which is super rare in how countries handle people moving. Spanish law offers maybe the best benefit. Panamanians can ask to become citizens after living there legally for just 2 years instead of the usual 10 years for people from outside the EU. Most foreigners, including Americans and Europeans, don't know about these chances because the agreements were signed many years or even centuries ago, but they're still quietly working today. Since 1994, Panama has had one of the world's most unusual ways to protect itself: no military at all. This isn't about being against war, but really it's a smart choice made because of bad experiences with military dictatorships, especially General Manuel Noriega's harsh rule that ended with the 1989 US invasion. Instead of an army, Panama uses civilian security groups like the National Police, Border Patrol, Coast Guard and internal spy services. These groups don't have tanks, missiles or fighter jets. They act more like peacekeepers than soldiers. The results speak for themselves. Over 30 years of stable government, strong economic growth from canal money, handling 5% of all global trade, and government money going to schools, healthcare and roads instead of military spending. While nearby countries spend billions on their armies, Panama shows that being in a good spot on the map and working with other countries can keep you safe better than military weapons. In Panama, a friendly pat on the shoulder, which is common in American and European cultures, can be seen as getting too close or even a quiet challenge to someone's place in society. For middle-aged and older Panamanian men especially, an unasked-for shoulder touch isn't seen as friendly, but as a possible fight. During tense times, like arguments about traffic or in a bar, shoulder pats can make things worse very quickly. Panamanian culture has strict rules about touching. Hugs, putting an arm around someone's shoulder, and other loving touches are only for close friends and family. Visitors should use eye contact words and smiles instead of touching to show they mean well. In Panamanian culture, respecting someone's personal space means respecting their worth. A rule that, honestly, is more important than well-meaning foreign social habits. San Miguelito, a neighborhood that truly never sleeps. Panama City's San Miguelito area shows a city life that tourist brochures never talk about. This crowded place has narrow streets winding between makeshift buildings, and it has crime rates that make even local police careful. According to 2023 government numbers, San Miguelito is where over 30% of problems affecting locals happen and 45% of robberies in the capital area. After 9 p.m., many taxi drivers won't go to this area, and police cars become very rare. The neighborhood exists right next to downtown Panama City's shiny financial district, a reminder that getting richer doesn't automatically get rid of poverty or the social problems that come with it. Public cameras get broken, reporting crime stays low because people have given up rather than feeling safe. And people who live there learn ways to survive that outsiders find hard to understand. Local advice is harsh but useful. If you find yourself in unfamiliar San Miguelito alleys after 10 p.m. and hear footsteps behind you, don't look back. Just walk as fast as you can toward the main streets. Taboos Island, a place where men are truly treasured. 12 miles by sea from the Guna areas is Taboos Island, where the number of men and women creates a totally different situation for gender. Among about 1,000 people who live there all the time, fewer than 120 men under 40 are left. This means, as locals say, that single men are a very valuable resource. This difference in numbers happens because young men leave for jobs in Panama City or chances overseas, leaving behind many generations of women who run fruit stands, cafes by the sea, and most of the island's businesses. For men visiting, especially foreigners, Taboos Island offers a really welcoming place where their being there is truly celebrated, not just put up with. The difference from Guna women-led traditions couldn't be more striking, even though they are close by. The $10,000 cigarette butt, a sign of Panama City's strict rules about being clean. Panama City has some of Latin America's toughest laws about public cleanliness, with fines up to $10,000 for littering. This isn't just talk. The city has many security cameras all over the financial district, the old Casco Viejo neighborhood, and big train stations. A Facebook group called Los Cerdos, the Pigs, encourages people to secretly send in photos and videos of others peeing in public, littering, or throwing away trash wrongly. These posts publicly shame offenders, sometimes leading to them losing their jobs or getting unwanted attention at their homes. The government has spent over $200 million on cleaning up rivers, systems to treat dirty water, and programs to teach about the environment. Their goal to bring back the Juan Diaz River and Panama Bay from years of pollution damage. Some areas even fine people who don't sweep the sidewalks in front of their homes every morning, an unwritten rule that shows the idea that being clean is a personal duty, not just the city's job. So let's dive into the fascinating world of pet passports and global travel. Panama, interestingly enough, was the first country in Latin America to create a pet passport system. This smart way of thinking allows animals with the right papers to travel around the world without those long and, let's be honest, often scary quarantine times. These official documents, well, they include everything you'd expect: a photo ID, shot records, health checks, and of course a paper from Panama's Animal Quarantine Office. Now, for those healthy, vaccinated and microchipped pets, they can fly straight to places like Madrid, Bogota or Paris without needing any special permission. This is without a doubt a big draw for older foreign people from places like Canada, the US and Europe who have retired. After all, who wants to leave their beloved animals behind during long trips? Panama Veterinary Services, by the way, gives out almost 10,000 pet passports every year, and get this, the numbers have doubled over the past 5 years. It seems the idea of pets as family is really growing among people living there from other countries. Quite a trend, isn't it? In popular places for foreigners like Boquete and Bocas del Toro, losing electricity for 3 to 8 hours each week, well, it's just normal life instead of a problem with the power system. These outages happen without warning, sometimes when it's super hot in the middle of the day, sometimes at night, and often, honestly, without any heads up or reason. A 2022 survey found that over 60% of homes in country and semi-city areas lose power or water at least twice a week. Reasons range from old power lines and storm damage to water pumps just taking unplanned breaks when lots of people are using water. People who have lived there a long time learn how to deal with it. Water storage containers, flashlights, extra chargers and portable generators kind of become things everyone has at home. Many buy gas stoves for cooking when the power is out. How locals react really shows how they've adapted. When the lights go out and fans stop, families gather on porches, make coffee on gas burners, light candles, and turn on battery-powered radios. They call these interruptions natural break times when phones die, TVs go dark, and conversations, become important again. In the old-style cafes of Casco Viejo, visitors can actually order Panama Geisha coffee for $75 a cup. This isn't just trying to get money from tourists, but it shows how truly rare it is. In 2019, Panama Geisha sold at auction for $2,568 a pound, making it the world's most expensive coffee. grown on the sides of volcanoes in Boquete, where red dirt, constant mist and heights over 1,500 meters create special tastes. Panama geisha offers complex flavors of jasmine, a type of lemon and a lasting sweet mango taste. Yet, if you walk just a few blocks from these air-conditioned fancy cafes, street sellers offer regular black coffee from metal carts for 50 cents to $1, the coffee most Panamanians actually drink every day. This difference really shows what modern Panama is like. Fancy markets existing next to traditional ways of making money, both serving different groups of people with totally different buying power and cultural tastes. Panama works on two parallel time systems that exist together without any clear problems. Business culture demands being on time. Meetings, signing papers, and professional classes start exactly on schedule, especially in banking, law, and import-export businesses where 75% of Panama City companies require employees to arrive 5 minutes early. Social life, on the other hand, follows Hora Panamena, or Panama time, where invitations are more like general ideas than exact schedules. Birthday party invitations that say 7 o'clock in the evening as a start time usually see guests arriving between 7:30 and 8, with hosts often still getting ready when people who are on time show up. This relaxed way of doing things shows Panama's calm lifestyle, influenced by the warm weather, lots of water, and the canal's steady, unhurried rhythm connecting two oceans. Understanding which time system to use in different situations becomes, well, important cultural knowledge for getting around successfully in Panamanian society. Panama is hard to put into one box because it acts like many different countries at once. Native lands keeping their old ways of ruling, city centers working by international business rules, country communities following old social patterns, and foreign communities creating mixed cultures that combine foreign hopes with local realities. The country's biggest success might be balancing these different identities without forcing them to be the same. Guna independence exists alongside American-style money-making. Native tattoo traditions work alongside modern pet passport systems. A country with no army works in a region where armed fights are still common. Panama teaches us that a country's identity doesn't need everyone to be the same, that different groups can keep their own special traits while helping the country as a whole succeed. From the canal's economic power to native ways of dealing with climate change, Panama shows how respecting differences can create strength instead of division. What part of Panamanian culture surprised you the most? Share your experiences with cultural surprises from your own travels. Let's explore how different societies create their own unique solutions to common human challenges.